Hi, it's Dr. Pamela, and we've been talking about when you have received a serious diagnosis, and in particular, how to make the most of your doctor's appointments. The first is, what are the questions that you have for your doctor? You may have questions related to your prognosis, your best course of therapy, or alternative courses of therapy, holistic approaches to therapy. All of these are something that you might think of in the middle of the night in between visits, or if it's the first time visiting a doctor, you'll have a whole list of questions. What happens if you're in the patient room and you've given the list of questions to the medical assistant or the nurse, and the doctor comes in and rushes through your appointment and doesn't address the questions? I want you to know that you have a right to ask at that very moment, Doctor, if you do not have time to answer these questions now, may I schedule another appointment when you do have time? These questions are very important to me, and I want you to understand that. And it would be very helpful in my care and our relationship if you can sit down with me and go through them. If today is not the right day, may I schedule another appointment? If you find that you're not getting your questions answered after multiple attempts, 2 or 3 at the most, I would then consider looking for a different doctor because you have the right to get your questions answered. In the next few videos, we're going to talk about how to make the most of your doctor's appointments. The first is something I want you to do at home, and that is to keep a physical copy of your medical history. You can request this from your physician. Most physicians currently have electronic medical records that have an ongoing list of your diagnoses, current medications, and doses of those medications. But you will also want to keep a record of what medications have been stopped and for what reason. Was it due to a side effect? Was it due to its ineffectiveness? Was it due to its dose adjustment being required? Keeping a record of this will not only help you, it will help your doctors and those that may see you and not have your electronic medical record easily at hand. Also, you'll want to keep a record of your hospital visits. What were you hospitalized for? What was your discharge diagnoses? You can request a copy of your discharge summary. This will have this information and will be very valuable, especially in that early transition from the hospital back to your physician. Keep a copy of images. If you can get a physical report, that is good. If you can get a copy of the images themselves on a CD, that is also good. You may need to bring that to other facilities for their use. And if you are at this point where you're already in your diagnoses and you don't have records of these, you can request them from the locations where you receive services, whether it be the doctors, the hospitals, or the imaging centers. But keeping a physical copy will be very important for your health care. In between appointments, it is very valuable for you to write down your symptoms. Note if a symptom was related to a medication. Perhaps it was related to a procedure that you had done or an IV therapy in the interim between visits. Did it result in a change in how you took your medications? Did it affect your appetite? Did it affect your sleep? Did it affect your mood? All these are relevant to how a physician provides the best care for you and helps you be your own best health advocate. When you're in the doctor's office and the doctor is taking notes on a computer, they're typically doing something called a SOAP note. SOAP is an acronym for Subjective, Objective, Assessment, and Plan. So under subjective, they'll record what were your symptoms, all of the things that you've done so well in recording between your last visit and your current visit. And then the objective will be your vitals, any laboratory or diagnostic studies that were done in between, as well as your physical exam. And then assessment. And this is what I really want you to take home as a patient is, doctor, what is your assessment of my condition today? And then the last is SOAP is plan. And also, like assessment, plan is very important to you to ask, doctor, this is my assessment. What will be the plan for this visit going forward, or for my condition going forward? This understanding of what's taking place in the clinician's mind will help you process what you need to ask at the end of the appointment if it hasn't already been answered. And it is, again, what is your assessment and what will be the plan for my condition? This will make for a valuable appointment time.